I want to make this video for all of you out there that think selling drugs is the answer. That drugs is going to get you out of poverty or get you somewhere that you want to be in life or be there for you in the future. I'm telling you straight up that I've been there, I've done that. It's not worth it and you're not going nowhere. If anything, you're going down. I want to tell you a little bit about my personal story involving me selling drugs and my life of crime and why I'm not living like that no more and why I changed my mentality and I changed my hustle, not only for myself but for my family and for my community. And now I can honestly say that I'll never go back to selling drugs because I believe it's a bitch move, and anyone who sells drugs, I think, is a addict for the most part rather than a real hustler. A real hustler will do the right things to make money and continue making money. An addict is somebody who uses drugs while they're selling drugs and thinks that they're in control of the drugs. They think they're in control and that they can overcome the power of those drugs like they have the power. I'm telling you right now, if you think you can control or you can beat those substances while you're distributing them, you're wrong. I know from experience. I've sold plenty of drugs. Pounds and kilos of drugs, to be honest. I was a dumbass with a death wish. I ran dope from Arizona to Iowa, heroin from Chicago to Iowa. I sold bud all across the nation. Michigan, Ohio, Louisiana, Florida, Iowa, Illinois. I mean, I was all over with my marijuana distribution and wax. I sold guns. I pretty much was a real hustler and a gangster in the eyes of most people on the streets. I only cared about my money and I only cared about my products. I didn't care about the people that I hurt, the addicts, my friends, my family, etc. I only cared about me. Well, all that changed when I was 26, and I wanted to discuss how. Growing up, I always followed my uncle, and I followed in his footsteps. I wanted to be just like him. He was a badass who sold drugs and had lots of cash on hand always. But when he was 26, the feds came and indicted him with the distribution charge of methamphetamine. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. That's when it hit me. I was going to most likely go to prison as well. At the same age, we were both selling lots of drugs. Unfortunately, I was selling more diversified drugs and more quantity of drugs than he was. So I was even more skeptical. I sold heroin, I sold meth, I sold marijuana, and I sold guns at the same exact time. I was a hot boy in the eyes of the police. So if my uncle got caught for just selling meth, and he never got caught with a gram on him personally, he was snitched on by all his friends and all the people he thought were his loyal customers. So who were my customers, and what was I to expect about them? I knew I had to change something, and I had to change something very fast. After a while, the pressure of being caught became very high. I became super paranoid, and I couldn't take it. I started to lose my mind. And then one day I had a spiritual breakthrough, and you could say it was like a moment with God. I'm not going to discuss it in detail, but long story short, I was given the choice, jail or freedom, and be broke. I could be in jail, or I could have my freedom and be broke. The feds were on me, the police were on me. I knew that the odds were against me. It was about time that I gave up my income and gave up my life as a street hustler. At the time, I was making nearly $200,000 a year. I was reinvesting it so you wouldn't see the cash on hand, but I had my money tied up in so many different places that I was definitely on my way to becoming kingpin status. And I was only living in a town that had 25,000 people. I was trying to be a kingpin of the nation. and I was on my way. But I tell you what, after that spiritual moment with God and I had that decision, jail or my freedom, I had a realization and I started to think much more clearly. I had nothing to do but think. So what I did was I isolated myself from all the users and all my friends and everybody who was a bad influence to me, because I knew that I had to clear my head and I had to figure out a way to get out of that life. I knew that it was a matter of time before I went down, and I couldn't risk that, especially for my brother's little child, Briar. I had to do something big, and I had to do something right now. So what I did is I started studying millionaires. I started studying success coaches, public speakers, spiritualists, people who discuss money, millionaires, and I thoroughly studied them. I studied some of the smartest people who ever lived, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, them kind of people. And they influenced me and they became my mentors vicariously through their work and the information that they've left behind. I found a new hustle, and that was to be smart and be a rich hustler and do it legally. I believe that saved my life. And to be honest, I don't care who you are. If you're selling drugs, you're a fucking bitch. You're never going to get anywhere in life, and you're never going to make no real money. I don't know anybody in Clinton, Iowa, where I'm from, that's even touching what I was making. Nobody was even doing near what I was doing. And people still think that they're going to make it out there. My city is filled with addicts. My city is filled with crime, and it's just crazy out here, and it's crazy on the streets. And I knew that I didn't want no part of that. You know what I mean? I had to change my direction in life, and I had to follow a different path, and I think I picked the right path, and that was by following these people and studying YouTube thoroughly. I mean, probably 10, 12 hours a day sometimes, just learning as much as I can from as many people as I can, just taking their advice, writing down in my notebook, taking notes, and just trying to piece together my life and figure out what the fuck I was going to do with myself and how the hell I was going to get myself out of this mess. So, you know, I completely changed my mindset. I changed my daily routine. I changed my surroundings. I changed my friends. And all of a sudden, things started happening to me. I started really achieving success, and I started becoming very, very happy. I mean, I wasn't very wealthy for a while. I lost the majority of my money, and the majority of my income and my investments went to shit, or I got robbed, basically, and my investments just did poorly, and I never collected on the debts that I had out on the streets. I just kind of let it ride, and I let them people who owed me money to keep that, because I figured it wasn't worth me making one more transaction to risk my freedom. I figured if I had to quit, I had to quit right then and there. I didn't care how much money I had on the streets, or how much marijuana I had growing, or how much product I had coming in from another state. I had to stop right now. So that's what I did. And I'm not saying that I'm the smartest person ever, but I know that what I did was the smartest move of my life. There's times where I slip up and I use substances that I shouldn't use, alcohol and some drugs. But for the most part, my mind is clean, my mind is focused, and I'm studying and I'm learning every single day, and I'm changing my life for the better. And I hope that anybody who's watching this video can understand that if you're living that life, it's time to change, and there's a better way out, and I could teach you. If you watch my videos, I'm going to show people how to go from being a street hustler to being a real hustler in this world. How to make real money, be able to obtain millions and think like a millionaire, think like a totally different man, and have a totally different outlook and perspective on the world. Be able to obtain any goal and reach any feat. I'm telling you, the mindset I have now is amazing, and I owe it all to that moment I had with God, giving me that opportunity to make a choice. Jail or freedom? Jail or freedom? Jail or freedom? What's your choice? If you're living the same life, you got the same choice every day. You could go to jail or you could risk your freedom. Your freedom, it doesn't matter how long you're locked up. If you're locked up for one day, you could have won the lottery that day. You just fucked up. You know what I mean? You could be making a YouTube video and that video could have went viral, but no, you're stuck in prison because you fucking sold 1 gram of drugs, or you sold an ounce of drugs to somebody who you shouldn't have, and they snitched on you. Everybody on the streets is snitch. 98% of people in prison are snitches. Everybody's a snitch. Your friends, your family, all your homies, they're all snitches and they're all bitches, and they will tell on you when there's years put on your head. It's the truth. So don't think that I don't know this from experience, or don't think that I'm just bullshitting you, or I'm trying to, make you listen to every word that I gotta say. No, I'm trying to open your eyes and tell you that I've been there, and I luckily got out just in time, because the moves I was making, I wasn't gonna go to the local penitentiary or the local county jail. I was gonna go to the Fed joint for at least 10 to 50 years of my life, at least. I was at the point where if somebody took my product, I would kill them within a heartbeat, or I would have them killed. I was willing to take somebody's life because they took my product. I don't know if you're that kind of level of a dope dealer, or if your mindset was ever like that, but that's what my mindset was. And that's what made me, totally do a 360 in this world. I knew that I didn't want to hurt nobody no more. I didn't want to see people addicted to my product. I didn't want to see mothers choose dope over their children. I didn't want to see my friends hyped up and not accomplishing things, and not going to work, and having bad relationships with their families. I wanted to see us all be successful and us all be millionaires. Clinton, Iowa used to have the most millionaires per capita in the United States. Now we got the most tweakers on the block and the most dumbasses. How the hell did that happen? I'm telling you, if everyone was to just have a change of heart, and they don't have to watch my videos, they don't have to take my advice, but at least hear me out, because I've been there and I know the probability of you achieving success or doing what you're doing is very, very unlikely. You're not going to be a millionaire from selling dope. You're not. Especially in Clinton, Iowa, you're not. You're going to go to the Fed joint or the county jail before you even get close. The only reason I was making so much money is because I was bringing stuff in from Arizona and from Michigan for the most part, and I was doing things on such a large scale and so repetitively that my numbers were so high. If it wasn't for that, I would have never reached that level of dealer, or I would have never even, obtained those numbers in my life. And those are some of the biggest numbers I've ever reached. As of right now, to be honest, I have hardly any money, and I'm happier than I ever been in my life. And it's because I don't have no paranoia, I have no stress, I have no fear of the police, I have no fear of somebody robbing me. I'm not worried if someone's going to take my product, if someone's going to pay for my product. I'm not worried about none of that. All I think about is how I can make my YouTube channel better, how I can make my limo service better, how I can work harder at work, how I can be a better parent, how I can be a better man, and how I can influence my community and the world in a positive manner, and how I can be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire more than anything in this world, besides being a great mentor to Briar. So being a millionaire, I guess, would be the second most popular thing that I want to accomplish in this world. And I have what it takes. I have the mindset, I have the will, and I have the ability to become one with ease. With ease. So instead of thinking about drugs and guns and being stupid, I started thinking about stuff like this. Fast cars and smiley faces. Trillionaire, billionaire. Let's see here. I started thinking about Bentleys. Everybody wants a Bentley. How am I going to get a Bentley? Vacation, flats, and apartment rentals in Paris. I started thinking I could do anything in this world that I will set my mind to. Started looking at tanks. I mean, I was looking at stuff that I could only imagine, looking at helicopters. I mean, I'm telling you, my dreams are so big that I felt like I could achieve and purchase anything as long as I stuck to what I knew was right, and as long as I did the right things for a particular amount of time. And the rewards may never come, but if I have the goal and the ambition and the drive to achieve those things, it's bound to happen. Because I'm telling you, I'm very hungry for money, and I'm very hungry for success, and I will do anything to make my success a reality. But that doesn't include selling drugs or poisoning my community any longer. I will never do that again. And for the people that I've affected and the people that I've sold drugs to, and my friends and my family and all the people in my community, I'm sorry. But I hope this video can educate some people who are in the same situation and let them know that there is a way out, and there's much bigger hustles in this world. I'm trying to live on Wall Street. I'm not trying to live on Roosevelt Street where I grew up. I'm trying to be the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm trying to make millions and billions of dollars. I'm trying to do anything my mind thinks of. I'm trying to accomplish every goal that I set. I'm trying to do big things in this world. And the only way that I could think like that, and the only way that I have this confidence, is I had to quit selling drugs. I had to get away from committing crime. I had to get away from those toxic people. I had to change my life. I hope this message helps somebody. I know that there's people out there going through the same boat, and they're either addicted or they're selling, and they think that it's the only way out, and it's the only way to provide an income for your family. Well, I'm telling you straight up that there's more than one way to earn an income. Like my channel is called Infinite Hustle. There's an infinite amount of ways to make money. You can make money doing anything you set your mind to. Anything you love or you're passionate about, you can make money doing if you set your mind to it. So if you're selling drugs, quit. If you're selling guns, quit. If you're committing crime, quit. Because there's nothing better than knowing that you don't have that paranoia or that worry that someday they're going to come for you. Because someday, if you're doing enough and you're making real money, they will come for you. And by they, I mean the feds. So understand what you're doing, understand the moves that you're making, because for the most part, they're probably small. And they're probably short term. And they're probably that mentality like, I'm going to die tomorrow, so I got to live it up today. Well, you know what? I don't think like that no more. I think like 10 years in the future. Where am I going to be at 10 years in the future, and what am I going to do today to get there 10 years down the road? So if I want to be a millionaire in 10 years, how am I going to accomplish that goal today? What am I going to do today that's going to make me successful in 10 years? What am I going to do right now that's going to make me a better person in 5 years, or 20 years, or 50 years, or whatever? It's all about perspective, and it's all about changing your mindset, and it's all about thinking differently, thinking clearly, and understanding that selling drugs and doing drugs is never going to get you anywhere. Even alcohol or any toxic substance, it's never going to get you anywhere in life. It's only going to hold you back. If you want to accomplish some real big things in this world, and you want to make your family proud, make your children proud, make yourself proud, take a stand and do what's right, and follow my footsteps, and get away from that life. I'm telling you, you only have so long and so many chances to walk away before you're caught up or before your life is gone. I don't want to see anybody lose their life or waste their life on anything like that. So for all my viewers who are going through trouble and who have problems with addiction or problems with being caught up in the streets and caught up in the hustle and the grind, I'm letting you know that there's a new grind, and I'm going to make us all very successful. But we need to think collectively, and we need to start putting our heads together and start putting our money together in a legitimate form rather than an illegitimate or illegal matter. because I got some way better plans and way better ideas that will make us much bigger profits. But we gotta be clean and we gotta be legit. We gotta pay taxes. But we will shine. We will do big things, and we will impress our community, and we will be leaders and role models to the youth. I hope this video is beneficial to anybody out there who's struggling. I hope somebody out there hears my message and understands that drug dealing is not the life. Take it from somebody who is probably doing better than you on the streets. Get the fuck out as fast as you can. And if you, like I said, if you don't end up with a single dollar, it's worth it. I ended up burning thousands of dollars, making it rain in McDonald's. I did some crazy shit just to get rid of my money because I had so much money. And I did all that, and I look back on it, and it's like, I wish I had that money, but I really don't care because it was all tainted money, and it was bad money. And it's like, I can make money in a million different ways and feel much better about the money and the returns that I get than I did ever before. So keep that in mind. There's, like I said, an infinite amount of hustles and an infinite amount of ways to make money. Think positive, think optimistic, change your life, change your goals, change your hustle, get off the streets. This is Kyle from Infinite Hustle, and I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to tell people my story, and hopefully somebody can hear me out and they can learn from my mistakes so they don't have to follow the same footsteps, and they can avoid some of the mistakes that I made, and they can do things for their family that their family truly deserves, and they can do things for themselves that they truly deserve, and they can accomplish their dreams and their goals. I hope you all have a very blessed day. Thank you for watching this video. This is the reason I quit selling drugs. Fuck drugs.